So Q&A 106. The first question we have is from Jack Gibbons. By the way, if you want to keep asking us questions, do so in the comments section through inboxing us or through our Facebook and Twitter with the hashtag BritishFistQA. Jack Gibbons. Hey guys, how would you book a 3-hour Raw after Extreme Rules? Well, after Extreme Rules, we had the fallout from Cena, and he was injured. I wouldn't have had him get out of that hospital bed and come out and, be part of Raw. I would have had him not be on the show for at least 2 or so weeks. So that following Raw, I definitely would have done something to do with the Cena injury angle.
I know the WWE want to use Cena as much as they can because he's the draw, the big guy. But we say this month after month, year after year, he needs to take a break. Yes, the ratings may drop, but drop for the right reasons.
And I also would not have done that Triple H concussion angle either. I'm just saying. Yeah, I know. We're doing a concussion angle on the British Fist show right now. Yeah, we're more about storylines than content, people. Also, how would you guys have booked Ryback's heel turn? Good question. This will probably be the actual topic, the big sort of talking point of this Q&A. Definitely would not have rushed it. I mean, I'd have slowly done it, kind of like they did with Christian against Randy Orton. I'd have him, you have him attack John Cena. I wouldn't have turned him heel anyway. I'd have just had him be this lone wolf kind of figure who just will annihilate anyone to get to the world championship.
I think with Ryback, I do agree it was very rushed. The best way the WWE came up with to classify him as a heel is put him into the ring with Foley and
not to mention the fact that they were trying to make it as if Cena did something wrong to Ryback and he didn't come to his aid, which was silly.
Even though that gave Ryback his first great promo video-wise, but I don't think him being a heel, I think he's a guy that you come against a face, great match, heel, great match. I don't really think you need to make a full heel, because I have a feeling maybe once this Cena feud's over, he could possibly come back face again.
Why not be a tweener, and then you can make him a babyface? He's, why did they have to go the heel route? I don't really know. If you guys have any idea on how you would have booked Ryback after his heel turn, just let us know. We just wouldn't have booked a Ryback heel turn. Simple. John Leslie Reed. Jake Roberts has stated that he'll be in next year's Royal Rumble. What's your thoughts on this, and do you think DDP and Scott Hall should be in also? Well, DDP made that special appearance on Raw 1000 stuff, the diamond cutter, exactly. I mean, Jake Roberts and Scott Hall have been going through some reinvigorations, of course, and they are, last time I heard, they were doing pretty well and they were pretty healthy. In the Royal Rumble, I mean, it would be awesome. I mean, whether they would be able to compete, we don't know, but it would be good if they could go in and, not get hurt, etc.
They've got great fundings to get their recovery on track and get them help, but I think coming back to wrestling after all this hard work, if it's their choice, then I guess they could. But I think after the stuff they've gone through, maybe they should just enjoy life as it is.
Yeah, and great props to DDP for bringing in Scott Hall and Jake Roberts to his house and, actually caring for them and doing all this stuff. And I'm glad that we didn't get 2 more wrestling tragedies in Jake Roberts and Scott Hall, and that everything is starting to get back together again.
And also my thanks to to DDP is his yoga and stuff he's done is expanding, not just to those 2. Other people are complimenting it. So for DDP's work to give us the stuff that he's given to Scott Hall and Jake Snake is brilliant, I think.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of those success stories in wrestling that you really need to keep in your mind rather than the negativity sometimes. What wrestling DVDs would you like to see in the near future? They said they would JBL. John Leslie Reed would like a JBL, a New Age Outlaws, and a Cruiserweight set to be released. What ideas do you have for DVDs?
My 2 are Evolution. Maybe they were around in great faction. And 2, there's a few out, but I would like a more stretched version of D-Generation X from back when they first did all the way up to now.
I wouldn't mind, because I wasn't around really. I'd love a DVD that goes through the history of wrestling. How it started, how Vince McMahon took over. I don't know if they've done one like that. I don't think they have. They may have done, but I'd love a video just showing the history of wrestling and how it came about and the different eras, etc. It could be like a 4-disc box set that could be like 12 hours long. I'd buy something like that just to get me more entwined with how wrestling began and the history behind it, etc.
Even though they got the 50th anniversary of Raw, I think they should do something similar. It does cover the main points of the wrestling growth.
Renegade and Decline as well. Renegade Man 83. If there was a WWE and TNA crossover event, which will never happen given the circumstances, which top wrestlers from each company would you like to square off against each other? We were talking about this, yeah. Like you might have Undertaker and Sting. That's a match that most people would like to see. You mentioned Brock Lesnar and Rampage Jackson in your review. That would be a pretty good sort of MMA style match. Triple H Rude, I agree. CM Punk versus Austin Aries. That'd be pretty good.
Daniel Bryan Angle.
Daniel Bryan Angle would be a good one. What about like a James Storm versus someone?
I wish I could say this, but Shawn Michaels.
Oh god, something like that. But there's so many possibilities there. I mean, TNA has some really good talent. Abyss versus Kane. Yeah. You could do that. You could do
Mark Henry and Matt Morgan.
Something like, I mean, you could even do like New Age Outlaws or something like that, or Team Hell No versus like Bobby Roode and Austin Aries or Bad Influence or something like that.
I think we do need a big tag team going there, and probably Mickey James versus whoever's meant AJ.
Why not?
And
there are loads of possibilities.
The time's gone, but Ace and Eight versus the Nexus.
Or the Core. Out of it.
Yes.
The Core. Immortal versus the Core. They're like the jobber factions there. Metal Ruler 45. What tag team should TNA bring in? The Briscoe brothers, that would be a good tag team to bring in, I feel. The Young Bucks or Generation Me could bring them back to be in the tag team. Because they do need new tag teams.
Primetime players. Get rid of them from WWE into TNA.
Why not? Which guys do you see as future TNA champions? Kenny King, Magnus, Chris Sabin, Crimson, Jay Bradley. I'm going to eliminate Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin does not strike me as the kind of guy that should be holding a world championship.
But he is.
He has option C.
Yes, he's got that in his bag, which normally option C or the X division does go in the favour of the person.
It won't this year though, because why would you want to hold that on the way to Battle for Glory like they did last year? Kenny King, I could see possibly winning the world championship. Maybe they need to build him up a little bit. They need to do the Austin Aries build if he was going to win it.
Crimson's time has come and gone because he had that undefeated streak, which could have led to that, but it didn't.
Magnus, I don't ever see him holding the. I mean, if they want a British world champion going over to when they do the Live Impact Tour, the Maximum Impact Tour in Britain, he would be a perfect candidate. I can't see him doing it though. I really can't.
If I had to pick one, Kenny King, his booking needs to be shown in that direction. Crimson, when he returns, he could come back as a powerful monster, but I'd have to give it to Kenny.
And Jay Bradley, we'll have to see a bit more from him first, I'm afraid. True. CM Punk is asking us some questions on his time off, and you kind of look a bit like CM Punk in that hoodie and t-shirt there, NJ. Maybe you need more of a beard though. Hey guys, what's up? What's up, CM Punk? Just wondering what your thoughts are on Brock Lesnar working more dates and putting Cena on SmackDown. Would it be good? Brock Lesnar
dates. Sorry to interrupt, but yes, if he's here for 2-3 more years and he's only going to make still the same contract he had the first time he came back, I think with the Brock Lesnar being a big name, no, it's true, I don't care. You need to get more involved.
I wouldn't mind Brock Lesnar working more dates. I can see what they're trying to do, make him some kind of special attraction, you say, for bigger pay-per-views. But when he appears there and then he goes away for a while and you're trying to continue on a storyline like the Triple H one going into SummerSlam, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really, you don't really get the feeling that it's going to be a massive feud. And Cena on SmackDown, I prefer Cena to stay away from SmackDown personally because I think SmackDown should be used for the younger talent and for the up-and-coming stars.
I've said this about SmackDown. It's not going to happen because of it being taped and all that stuff, but I think SmackDown does need its big moments or at least big returns or something to make SmackDown feel important again. So Brock Lesnar being on there, Cena being on there, I'd personally be all for it, but it's just not going to.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Cena being some kind of special attraction, but that's it. That's all I really want. I mean, there's a reason why they keep him off SmackDown and only have him on Raw. Sandoge 10 Master, how would you guys react if John Cena ended the streak at WrestleMania 30? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, who else in the company that isn't a legend could you give it to? You couldn't give it to Punk. The only other person you can give it to is Cena.
Well, other than Kane, because I do think the whole Kane coming in, him going out would have been a great storyline.
Time has kind of come and gone, though, isn't it, really?
As for Cena, I just really don't want to see it to be predictable. It wouldn't make the fans happy. It might make Vince happy because he's got the right person to do it, but I just say, hell no.
Howard the Man. If Randy Savage had apologised for having Hogan lust over Miss Elizabeth in 1989, would the Mega Powers have existed 25 years later? They still do not exist now, but I see what you mean. If Randy Savage had apologized for the Hogan lust, then the Mega Powers would be together, but they still wouldn't have been together for that long. I mean, I'm not sure because Hogan was a singles. You know, he was a bigger draw as a singles guy, so you'd want to eventually get him out of that tag team anyway. So I think, to be honest, Hogan would have been put out of that tag team, and then he went to WCW where he was a single star. So I don't think even if he did apologize, it wouldn't have existed 25 years later. In storyline, of course, we're talking here.
Apology, it would have added something to that moment, but yes, like Dan said, Hulk Hogan would have kept on growing.
Exactly. The Awesome Viper 321. Have you ever been to my country, Scotland? I have. I've been once. I went to, I don't know if it's in Scotland, but Gretna Green, I think it's called. I went there for a wedding once, and there was loads of bagpipes and kilts. Have you been to Scotland?
Near Doncaster. There we are.
That's the closest you've ever got to Scotland. Oh dear. If Austin versus Punk, Cena versus Taker, Rock versus Brock, and someone versus Batista happens, what will main event WrestleMania 30? Probably Cena versus Taker. You probably think it's going to be Austin Punk, right? Don't you?
I would love to say that because obviously I think with CM Punk needing, or my opinion, deserving to have a place up there with Cena, if not above, but with the way the WWE's going, it's going to get given to Cena.
Or it could be Rock
before he finishes.
Or it could be Rock. I mean, you've got 3 main events there. It just depends. With Cena, generally, he gets the main event, and he's the top guy in the company, so he probably should.
I want to make my answer one more. You've added versus Batista, John Cena versus Batista, for Batista to get the final win.
Maybe not. Mr. Parkin, do you think it says something for Scottish football that the best club in Britain were managed by a Scottish manager and were taken over by a Scottish manager? I think it says more about Scottish football that they only have 2 teams and the 2 teams that ever go for the title, and one of them isn't even in the Premiership anymore, so what's the point of watching Scottish football? But I do see your point. Scotland do have some very accomplished managers. I mean, Alex Ferguson is one of the most decorated of all time. David Moyes could possibly be one of those if he does well at Manchester United. So they do have some pretty good managers in Scotland, I'll say that. Could try managing some of those Scottish teams, though. NJ, what are your top 5 TV programmes out now?
Okay, Game of Thrones, Dexter, CSI. I'm going to give it to True Blood. Last season ruined it, and it'll be Big Bang Theory.
The only one of those I watch is Big Bang Theory. Do you ever see someone becoming as big as The Undertaker again and making someone with the same gimmick of the Dead Man? It was a specific gimmick of the specific time. In the 90s, there was like a gothic movement, which is why the Crow Sting came along. It all depends on the times. Really, and right now I don't think the time really calls for a gimmick like this where it would be mainstream, where it would get mainstream exposure. That's all I'll say.
And bro.
Yeah. Do you see Undertaker getting another title run in the future? No. There's no reason why, because he's a special attraction, shouldn't be winning any belts.
I think the only time I'd do it is maybe, again, if it was like him versus Cena for the championship, Taker had it. Yes, you'd think, Cena's going to win it here. If they added a surprise factor to it, maybe, but no.
Top 5 pipe bombs. This is an interesting one. You've got CM Punk's time bomb, which is pretty good. I remember Joey Styles' shoot promo on WWE was pretty entertaining. So was Paul Heyman's. I think Eric Bischoff's, when he came in as the GM, when he was talking about how Nitro ruled WWE and how he nearly crushed Vince McMahon's company. That was a pretty good shoot style promo, even though I don't think it was supposed to.
Brett screwed Brett.
That was a good shoot style promo. And the one where Brett actually went mental. That was a pretty good shoot promo. That was probably the first time they actually acknowledged, thanks to Vince Russo, that this shoot aspect of that kind of thing in WWE at the time.
And I lost my smile.
That was shoot, but that was kind of put into storyline. It wasn't really a shoot promo. What are the best WWE DVDs that you recommend?
50th anniversary.
Any compilations are pretty good. Like, I mean, we have Ladder Match, we have Royal Rumble anthologies, the best of King of the Ring, the best of Saturday Night Main Event. Tag Classics are generally considered pretty good. WrestleMania 17, 19, 14, WrestleMania 3 is always a classic. There are loads of DVDs, not just pay-per-views, but also documentaries. Like, you've got Eddie Guerrero, Macho Man Randy Savage, you've got Edge, you've got all these different documentaries that you could probably go into a bit more detail about.
The documentaries, because of wrestlers who have came and gone, the hardcore Attitude Era lovers, those documentaries show the great matches and great as they speak about their time in wrestling, but also the 50th anniversary of Raw, because that covers the genre at the time. that fans love.
And don't you also get the first ever edition of Raw in that with it as a bonus, which is pretty classic, pretty old school, right? No Monster, Viper, or Energy. Say it to my face. That's exactly what Alex Riley does. Are any of you guys getting the next gen consoles? We won't know. Well, I mean, there's a PS4. You'll probably get a PS4. I'll probably go for the Xbox One because I'm more of an Xbox guy, even though the PS4 looks much better in my opinion. It all depends because I'm not really thinking about buying one until it actually comes out, so I don't really know yet what I'm going to do. I used to like PlayStations. I like Xbox more now. 360 was a much better console than PlayStation 3.
Until you smash the controllers.
Not playing WWE 13.
But I think when it comes to the PS4, they're going to make us, make us want these consoles. They're going to make a huge game, big hype, and they're going to make us get these consoles. They are.
If you don't believe me, look, here are some pieces of the console, of the controller. There's pieces there. I've got... There's some of the buttons there. There's some in a board here. That's pretty cool. I've basically got all these in a bag. There's some more board right there. There's some more casing. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Anyway, sorry, we're getting distracted.
Yeah.
We're getting distracted. We're professionals, damn it. Yeah, sorry to rip that one off. Would you like to see this WrestleMania 30 main event? John Cena versus Undertaker in an I Quit match.
Makes perfect sense. John Cena never quits. Taker has that same kind of thing going on. So yeah, it would definitely be how is this going to finish? Yeah,
no, I agree. I think, like you said, you've got Cena who never, ever quits. And you've got your Undertaker who has on this, who would win? It would be a legitimate, we don't know who's going to win this match. It would be a good main event, I feel, and a good stipulation, and you could play to that storyline.
Because when it comes to WrestleMania, yes, Taker is famous for just normal matches, apart from his final ones like Hell in a Cell and that. But I Quit, taking an I Quit, I think it would be a good concept.
Samocot 96. Who do you guys see as the Shield member going furthest in the company and why? I think Ambrose is a great talker, but gimmick-wise, Roman Reigns will for me. I think we'll end the Q&A on this question. I think this will probably be the tagline of this Q&A.
Yes.
Who do you see from the Shield that can go the furthest in the company?
Well, I'm going to cancel it down, then give you my answer. We got the Rollins, who, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk style, so he could make it. Roman Reigns, Batista, Mark Henry, the big guy, and then you've got Ambrose, who has got a bit of CM Punk in the mic talking things. So they've all got a chance one way or another. I'm going to say, because of the direction, it looks like they're going in, tag one side and Ambrose.
Ambrose reminds me of a little mixture of Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, and Brian Pillman. Kind of mixture. And I think right now he's the most polished performer in the sense that he has a character. He kind of has a look, but not as much as Roman Reigns. So right now, as a total character and a total package, I think Ambrose goes to the main event. But I think while Seth Rollins has that sort of I think Seth Rollins is more of a mid-carder kind of guy, like a Jeff Hardy was back when he first started. Roman Reigns has a main event look. You know that WWE probably put Roman Reigns in this group because they wanted to get him on TV and get him over. So Vince McMahon would love to push this guy, especially seen as he is in the same family as one Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. So I think Ambrose is the most polished, very good talker, but I think Roman Reigns is more what WWE would want to push in the main event, if you know what I mean.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing either one in the main event just because it's someone different in the main event. They had good build, and having Rollins, another Jeff Hardy type up there, fans are behind, over Roman and Ambrose. I think they could shine in their own performances.
I do too. Please keep giving us your questions either down in the comment section below, through our inbox, through our Facebook, or through our Twitter with the hashtag BritishFistQA. We enjoy doing these Q&As, and I know we missed one a couple of weeks ago, but that was because of my break and all that kind of bit. That's kind of over now, so we're going to continue doing these Q&As. Thank you very much for watching. We have been the British Fist. I have been Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me, he is the best in the world. It's NJ.
What's up?
What's up, and goodbye.